Good, happy Saturday morning, January 19, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin on the storm watch this morning. We have a big, major snowstorm of 2019, the first one of 2019, moving into New Hampshire today. With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Josh Judge.
Good Saturday. I'm meteorologist Josh Judge, and lots to talk about here in your forecast. Let's take a look at it. As we begin your Saturday, some sunshine, but the clouds will be thickening up through the day as this system moves in. You can see there's a rain-snow line, but there's also plenty of precipitation. And as it moves out over the Atlantic, it intensifies tonight into Sunday. So taking a look at Futurecast, here's what's happening. As you can see, the clouds thickening up through the middle of the day and into this afternoon. And then late this afternoon to early evening, depending on where you are, that's when light snow begins to fly first, and then does get a little heavier through the nighttime hours. But the heaviest of the precipitation, the snowfall, isn't until later this evening. But as you can see, a steady snow will begin falling in many places during the evening hours. If you're heading out tonight, it should be doable as long as you're okay driving in snowy conditions and you take it really cautiously. Other than that, the heaviest snow, here's the darker bands, beginning to move in as we get toward midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., depending on where you are. It snows the heaviest overnight into early Sunday morning, and then this rain-snow line, and yes, the mix line, the pink here is sleet and freezing rain mixing in at times, and that starts to show itself into southern New Hampshire in the early to middle of the morning hours, and it could even work its way up, as you see there, into parts of central New Hampshire for a little bit of time during the day on Sunday, but not before a lot of snow has already fallen. And then back to snowfall as it comes to an end during the afternoon and into Sunday evening as the winds really start to crank as well. Monday will be very windy and very, very frigid cold. A really chilly day. Here's what we're looking at in terms of snowfall amounts as of right now. Certainly enough to cause quite a commotion. As you can see, it has already been doing so. First big snowfall of the year expected. A little bit less in areas farther north and in southeastern New Hampshire, where the mixing could be a little bit more than other spots. This afternoon, your high temperatures, though, in the teens north, as well as central New Hampshire, and 20s in southern New Hampshire. A closer look, rather, at the high temperatures to expect throughout the day today, this afternoon. Not a bad one to do some preparations as you get ready for whatever snowfall is coming in your direction. For tonight, lows in the single digits north, teens and 20s elsewhere. And here's a look at Sunday with temperatures staying on the cold side. So how does it mix in? Well, it's the higher levels of the atmosphere that could go above freezing for a time on Sunday. And that's why there could be some mixed precipitation. And I wanted to show you Monday as well. These are the expected high temperatures, not including the wind. Wind chill factor values will make it feel on Monday like it's below zero all day. There's your extended forecast. And as you can see, one day really standing out there. But Monday, we've put a caution there as well. That's certainly going to be a day that will be tough to be outside for very long periods of time, windy and very cold. Look at your week ahead showing calm weather on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, the next days to watch with some mixed precipitation possible. That's your forecast. Stay tuned for updates on WMUR.com, on WMUR TV, and all social media as we follow this storm through the weekend.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Josh Judge. And be sure to stay here with the Riley King Network with full coverage on this storm. We will keep you updated once it starts and until it ends as well. And there are 86 closings and delays on the closing and delays list. If you want to see that complete list, just go to WMUR.com and click on closings. Now, let's dive into your news. First up, Dover teacher will return to classroom after KKK jingle controversy. A Dover High School history teacher who oversaw a controversial assignment in which students sang a jingle about Ku Klux Klan will return to the classroom next school year after studying race, bias, and privilege. The teacher, John, will remain on paid leave for the remainder of the school year, Dover Superintendent William said in a statement. Cell phone video of the November 30th incident showed two students singing KKK, Let's Kill All the Blacks, to the tune of Jingle Bells. The song was part of an assignment about the Reconstruction period. We are committed to preventing an incident like this from ever occurring again at our schools. The district deeply regrets that this incident occurred, and we acknowledge the harm that words, symbols, and actions can cause, especially offered without the proper educational framework context, Superintendent William said in the statement. Superintendent William said an investigation into the incident is complete. Dover High School faculty and staff have worked continuously with our students and community members throughout the course of this process to ensure that students feel safe and valued in their classrooms and among their peers. The district has notified the Anti-Defamation League of the incident and has formed a steering committee made of school and community representatives along with the NAACP to address future educational programming. Superintendent William said in the statement. U.S. soldier killed in Syria spent childhood in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
We're now learning one of the U.S. Army Green Berets killed in the suicide bombing in Syria spent part of his childhood in New Hampshire. 37-year-old Jonathan Farmer was an Army Chief Warrant Officer. His alma mater, Bowdoin College, says Farmer lived in Laconia before moving to Florida as a teenager. Farmer was one of 4 Americans killed in the ISIS bombing this week.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Important safety reminders ahead of major snowstorm. Up to 20 inches of snow expected for most of New Hampshire. For the first time this winter, most Granite Staters will see more than a foot of snow in a single storm. Given that it's been several months since the last significant winter storm, there are important things to remember. And let's take a look at those important tips. Power outages. If the power goes out, you are encouraged to call your electricity provider. To call for Eversource, here is the number. Liberty Utilities, here are their numbers. New Hampshire Electric Co-op, here is their number, and Unitil, here is their number. If you see down power lines, call 911. Assume they are still alive wires and do not touch them or drive over them. If a line falls on your car, stay in your car until emergency crews arrive. People are also urged to stay at least 35 feet away from down lines and anything they fall on. State fire officials urge those who are at home without power to be cautious when using generators or alternate heat sources. Generator safety. Officials said residents should only use a generator that has been properly connected to house wiring by a professional. Generators should be run outside and at least 10 feet away from a building with the exhaust facing away from the house. Improperly installed or running generators can cause carbon monoxide poisoning. Anyone who suspects carbon monoxide in a home or building is urged to leave immediately and call 911 before calling the State Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222. Snow safety. New Hampshire Department of Transportation officials routinely ask that residents avoid crowding clouds and slow down to allow for snow removal on state roadways. Officials also remind that residents to clear snow around lights, vents, and fire hydrants. Meanwhile, Jessica Laws requires all drivers to clear snow and ice off their vehicles before hitting the road. And those are your tips to get you through this snowstorm. Plow crews, police, ready for heavy snowfall over the weekend. Let's take a listen to the video.
Didn't do this often until we get people. You're my first one, actually. Whatever he's planning now.
Brine has already been put down in spots. Plows ready to head out here. Communities like Manchester will have all hands on deck. 50 to 75 DPW workers on the job here, and they're asking you to be patient.
We'll be concentrating on the main streets throughout the city, keeping the main roads open. The secondary roads, people need to realize that we will get to them, but our priority is going to be keeping the main roads open for the emergency vehicles.
Utilities say stock a mobile storm kit in case of a power outage, especially with the cold blast coming. Flashlights and batteries, bottled water, chargers, a list of important numbers, medications, and necessities for the family, including the pets. Eversource says crews are on standby.
We are going to position hundreds of line, tree, and service workers throughout the state to respond to any issues that arise.
And Concord firefighters put plows on their forestry trucks to respond to emergencies in front of ambulances and fire engines, carving a path through the snow.
They'll also try to go ahead of the apparatus to emergency calls and make sure the driveways are cleaned out so that the personnel can get to the house in a timely manner.
And how can you help? You can help firefighters by digging out any fire hydrants near your home, and be sure to check on neighbors who might need a little extra help during a big storm like this. Live in Manchester tonight, Jean Mackin, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Jessica's law requires New Hampshire drivers to clear snow off cars. And here's a look at this video. Since 2002, New Hampshire drivers have been legally required to clear snow and ice off their cars before getting on the road. Jessica law was passed after Jessica Smith was killed when ice from a tractor trailer hit a box truck that ended up hitting her car. Drivers who violate the law face fine of $250 to $500 for the first offense and $500 to $1,000 for subsequent offenses. Jessica's mother, Linda Smith, told News 9 in 2015 that she sees snowy cars every day and she doesn't want other mothers to suffer her loss. It takes not even 5 minutes to clean off your car, she said. It can take 3 seconds to kill somebody. So please remember to clean off your car if you hit the road after the snowstorm, everyone. Trump to make major announcement on shutdown border. President Donald Trump tweeted Friday evening that he will be making a major announcement relating to the government shutdown and the United States southern border with Mexico on Saturday at 3 p.m. from the White House. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.